I want to welcome everyone to the Doug and Carl podcast this evening. And to make it official, we have to have another person in here, and that's the co-host for this program, and that's Carl.
Whoa, here I am.
Hey,
Hi,
all
Doug.
right. Hey, it's good to see you, Carl. I'm happy to that you could make it tonight, and we could get this done and stuff like that. I know you're having problems. I hear you on that. I really do, because been there, done that. So.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I've actually had to work.
yeah, I understand there. Hey, Jim, how you doing? The guest that we have lined up for this evening is somebody that is very well qualified to be on this show, I think. And without further ado, we're going to bring him on here. James Azbell. I think Jim, he goes by Jim pretty much.
Yeah.
Jim?
Hey,
Okay.
Jim, how you doing?
How's everybody doing this? This first time I've ever been on YouTube.
So
Well, this is great.
we have a few to show you here as far as people that's chiming in on the
Oh,
chat.
there you go.
So you see that? That's how that works. I wanted to kind of show you.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Greg's Vintage Workshop.
yeah.
I've seen that.
There's a guy I know. And,
Yeah.
Oh, old goat. How about that?
so, and there's Bob.
Yes,
Everybody knows. You all know Bob.
everybody knows Bob. Yep.
I tell you what, these things are moving so fast. I can't get them on here. Let me
I
see.
see. Pass here.
Well, you've got
Bob.
a good.
There's
You've got
Bob.
a good. Yeah, I know his channel.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of popularity, Doug.
Well, it's getting better, and we're happy about that because we love
Yeah.
the people logging on and been following us and stuff like that. It's great to have you guys on here, and we appreciate every one of you.
Yep.
And,
And everybody that makes this thing,
Yeah.
So,
Also, for Carl's benefit, I just wanted to let you know that Restream did add a timer now. It does tell you how long you have been on. There on the live thing, it says live up there, and it says the time. We've been on for 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So
Oh, neat. Okay.
so that's been kind of a nice addition, I think. They've added some other things, I think, as well. But so basically, I think we've got a good crew to start with, and I think we need to get started.
Sure
So,
do.
Carl, I think you want to start us off here with something.
yes, I do. And it's kind of cool that that Bill Old 64 Gold showed up because a lot of times, we've gotten to know you pretty much through his channel, and it's always pretty neat that sometimes when Bill gets in like a little snag and he's saying, "Can anybody help us?" We're all out here scratching our heads. It always seems like you're the one that pops up and goes, "Hey, try this," and it always works. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And that makes me think, well, this guy knows these electronics, and did he learn that in school or did he learn it outside? So my first question to you tonight, Jim, is can you tell us a little bit about your education and how you got started as far as schooling goes?
Okay, well, see, I was born in 1937. I'm 83 years old, so ancient history. But we all know what happened on December 7th, 1941.
Yep.
And my dad, although he was 36 years old, was also in the Army Reserve as a captain in artillery. So guess what? We went to war.
Mm-hmm.
And we spent a year at Fort Bragg in 1942-43, and then we went and lived with Grandma and Grandpa while Dad was over fighting Germans.
Wow.
And there were some tough years. I remember 1944, we had nothing for Christmas. We only had enough light bulbs for one string of lights on the tree.
Yep.
We had plenty of light strings, but you couldn't buy the bulbs.
Yeah. Crazy.
So after that, I think I got this book from my grandfather, but I may be wrong about exactly where it came from. This is an early 40s popular science radio make it fix it manual, annual, and it's got stuff, and I can't get the camera to focus close enough to show this stuff, but it's got all kinds of stuff. And I mentioned once before to Doug that all this dim bulb stuff. It was all
Wow.
this stuff, and about how to measure current using a dim bulb. See that?
Wow. See, how cool is that? You know?
Yeah, that's great.
Now, of course, back in those days, everything was done with vacuum tubes. In fact, old ones.
Right.
My first introduction to consumer equipment was when the radios were using 5, 6, and 7-pin tubes. I'm sure you've seen them, 6D6s and 6A7s and crap like that.
Yep.
And then, of course, by the 50s, we got almost everything was in octal tubes or the new miniature tubes, 7 and 9-pin miniature tubes. And I learned by doing things. The first thing I built was from a magazine of some sort, some sort of audio amplifier. I don't remember exactly what it was. It didn't work, but my dad knew somebody in a radio TV business downtown, and he took it in. And I had my electrolytic capacitors backwards and a couple of other things. I only had to learn that once, just once. And I just built up from there. And while I was in high school, again, here's a suburb of Columbus. Mm-hmm. And in high school, I started after the 9th grade. I built a control room. I got a picture of it. I might later on bring it into a video of me as a young kid with hair, sitting in front of all these switches. And I built channel A and channel B amplifiers with push-pull 6D6s and stuff like that.
Wow.
So, and then I built all kinds of preamps. I built, in the summer between 9th and 10th grade, I built a 2-inch oscilloscope that worked, sort of.
Wow.
Then I went on and built a lot of other stuff, too. I have recordings of me as a little kid and my grandmother, because in 1946, my dad bought a Wilcox Gay Recordio, which would record on records with a big monster cutter.
Wow.
And those have been saved over the years, transcribed to tape by my dad, and I later digitized them.
Cool. That's cool.
Now let me ask you, with all that you were doing, like pre-high school and high school, did that influence what you did when you started going to later on to college?
Yes, I went
to college, right? Yeah.
From the time I knew it existed, I wanted to be an electrical engineer.
Wow.
And that was probably at age 10 or 11. And in 1955, I graduated from high school. And that fall, I started in electrical engineering at the University of Cincinnati. And I graduated. UC. I graduated in 1960. The reason it was 5 years is because it was a co-op program, and you worked and then went to school. And the places I worked were extremely valuable. One of them was the Armco Steel Research Laboratory for Magnetics. That was worth its weight in gold.
Wow, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And then after college, I spent 2 years in the Army.
Well, that sounds good. Really good.
Yeah. When I got out, I worked for a local company here that, believe it or not, made hi-fi systems. They used to be built in this country, no more, but they used to be.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. Well, we're getting to that point now where leaving school, you probably started working. I'm going to turn this over to Doug and let him ask you a few questions on that.
Well, you're practically there anyway, Jim. So just give us a little more history on your work history there, and see what you've done in your life.
Well, that job went away, as it did, because by the late 60s, 1966, 5, 6, mid-60s, all the USA-built commercial or home equipment was disappearing. It was all going to Japan. So I managed to get a job at Bell Telephone Laboratories.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And they sent me to graduate school here at Ohio State, and I got a master's degree in electrical engineering.
Oh, that's cool.
And also an awful lot of good experience with telephone offices. So that was valuable. But you're working for AT&T, and you're a little cog in a big gear. and I couldn't take that too awfully long, and I ended up leaving, and I worked for a company that I spent 25 or 30 years in industrial process control, computer controlled process, like water treatment plants, sewage treatment, plastics, materials handling,
Right.
making cigarettes.
You've done it all.
Yeah, I've pretty much done it all. Now, I didn't do the programming for the actual application. My job was tool and die maker, software tool and die maker.
Right.
I wrote the software for the tools that the guys that actually programmed the plant.
Right. That's cool. That was really cool.
Yeah. And all that went away. The Japs took all that too. So later the Chinese, but so I got into banking and bill paying, and that was also very interesting.
Yeah.
And one of the shops, I some of the guys on the YouTube get into nostalgia about computers. I'm not talking about Commodores and stuff. I'm talking about Windows 95.
Oh yeah.
Good riddance to Windows 95. One of the places I worked, my job was to keep a fleet of those and later Windows 98 working.
Oh, is that right?
Blue screens of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember them well.
Yes.
So, and I got into the bill paying and banking and all kinds of stuff. And then I was able to work until age 78, admittedly to lower key jobs. And I finally decided it's time to retire. My health was starting to go downhill anyway.
Well, you lasted a lot longer than I did. I only made it to 59. So.
Yeah, I know. You told me once.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was tough to do it.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that completely.
Oh, I see somebody asked a question. What do I think of Windows 10? Well, I'll tell you what I think of Windows 10. There's a lot of problems with it, but you got to have it. If you're going to keep up to date, you got to have it. Now, I know, Doug, you use Linux, and that's fine. But Linux is so cryptic if you want to do anything other than just run a few programs.
I thought that too, but I have been finding out there is things to work in Linux just as easily as they did in Windows, and I've not had to go back to Windows at all. So,
okay, well,
I've been very pleased with Linux.
I kind of stuck with Windows because, well, my son is an expert at it. He's gone to all of Microsoft schools, so I can get a lot of help. And so I've just stayed with Windows. I've used Windows from 95. Well, actually Windows 3.2. Anybody remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Windows for work groups, 3.11, yeah.
And Windows, my favorite was Windows NT.
Oh, yeah.
It started out really bad, but as time went on, they improved it a lot.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good by into the 90s. And of course, Windows 2000. Yeah, and I agree with this guy. I've used Linux, and he is right. It's the most stable operating system. Now, I'll disagree with that in that DEC VMS was a lot more stable, but it didn't do as much. It wasn't really a graphics system. It was more of a database system.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with what you're going to use it for, too. I mean,
yes, if you're going to use it for process control, you want the stuff that's the most stable and reliable. And we use the DEC equipment because if something goes wrong, you can kill people in a chemical plant.
Yeah, I imagine.
And, if you can release horrid poison, even a sewage treatment plant is poison.
Yep.
Because you can't tell people to quit flushing their toilets.
Right. Yeah.
Well, like I say, that's interesting to go along with everything else that we've learned about you. So I'm going to turn it back over to Carl and see what Carl thinks about things.
Yeah, as we were talking a little bit before, that you were thinking about maybe what camera you might want to use, because in a little bit we're going to talk about maybe you starting up a YouTube channel. And I think that's pretty neat. And I think you will get a lot of viewers. I think you get a lot.
I will try to do that. And I have a lot of experience,
and
I believe in fundamental engineering. Start with E equals IR and work out.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Yep, and yeah, because knowing that what you like to do, and I think you mentioned, and that's actually going to be my next question, is instead of going towards like restoring old radios and messing with the older TVs, you kind of like to build.
Yes, I do. And one of the reasons, things like cathode ray tubes those were great years ago, but you're not going to replace them. The ones that exist will fade away, and that's the end of it.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't mess with a cathode ray tube, not because it's bad, but it's gone. It's just they don't make them anymore. There we go.
So what would be some?
Right. Yeah. Subscribe to that. Yeah, it's just. I mean, why would you mess with a cathode ray tube? They have high voltages. They're dangerous. They can blow up in your face.
Yeah. Because we're all crazy,
Yeah. Well, I will
going crazy.
I need a better channel name than
Jim Azbell.
James Azbell. I need something that's more catchy. I am not, I mean not, an artist in any way.
Well, how about maybe something like James will build it?
I'll think about it too.
It's hard to come up with something. Yeah, I agree.
Get some suggestions. I'm sure a lot of the guys are going to make suggestions.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know that. Yeah, but what do you think some of the things would be that you want to cover in your channel?
Well, I'd start out with covering. I've got a computer over here that I've been trying to finish up to give to old 64 Goat, so we can have something that's smaller and faster.
Yeah.
It's dual boot, Windows 7 or Windows 10, so we can look at Windows 10 to see, it's not that much different, really. The only real problems with Windows 10 is all the spying they put in it, and I've got that all turned off. So
yeah,
it really is bad. I mean, they want to look at everything you did so they can target you with advertising, which is
and a lot of pop-up junk too,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of pop-ups. You can't stop all of that, but it's you can minimize it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's I think that's kind of where we want to go to about your channel a little bit more. I'm going to turn it back over to Doug, and we're going to try to dig in just a little bit deeper here on what your future channel just might really.
I've got several. One of the things I could go over is I have built multiple telephone switches over the years for personal use, and only a nutcase would do that, of course. But it turns out there are 3 of us in Ohio. I have 2 friends that do that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know Greg's Vintage Workshop. Yes, indeed. I understand some of this vintage stuff is fine. What I really appreciate is somebody that can restore a wood cabinet.
Oh
that is works of art. One of the best restorations I ever saw was Buzz 1151.
Oh, he does good work. Yeah.
He took an old cabinet that had that Indian head speaker grill thing on it.
Yes.
And he built a radio in there out of old parts, and then polished that thing up. And it was originally an airline radio, and he put a decal on it that said Buzzline Radio.
Yeah.
And that was the neatest thing I ever saw.
Yeah,
that grill cloth with the Indian and on the horse. I know that's racist, but that was just gorgeous.
Yeah, I have one of his creations that I was lucky enough to win, and it is beautiful. I mean, it looks like a new radio.
Yeah.
And
there's other people that can do that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, we got a
just amazing.
Yes.
Yep, I agree,
Joe. Yeah. Buzz he doesn't make a lot of videos, but of course, on the other hand, remember, his videos are an artist masterpiece because of Dickel. What's his guy?
Dickel.
Dickel.
Dickel Al Flockett. Yep.
Al Flockett. Yes, that is that takes a lot of work. I mean, he must have a little Charlie McCarthy at him.
Yeah, yeah, he's been doing that since he was a kid.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. So Jim, basically, like I say, like what Carl was saying, whatever you're interested in doing as far as channel, we're here to help any way. I know any of these guys on the chat would help get it started and get you started. There's another guy that I was hoping Ron C would be on here. He was going to talk about Brendan. He's another one of these guys.
Yes, I know them. Yep, I know them watching their videos.
So guys like you are just getting harder to find, and you know what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, seriously, guys that really have the experience to teach others and making YouTube videos is just one way of doing it, and it's a good way of doing it, I think.
I need to be centered in the picture. I'm not used to doing this stuff.
You look fine.
Now, I've got 3 cameras.
Oh, there's Ron right there.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hi, Ron. I have this regular old webcam, which actually works pretty well. I'm surprised how close it will focus.
Yeah.
But it's hard to mount. It clips on the top of the monitor and stuff like that. Now, I have that one for the headphone. I've got, obviously, a cell phone. And I do have a very nice Panasonic camcorder over there that records on a...
DV?
No. It's a chip, micro SD. No, not a micro SD card.
SD card. Yeah.
And that focuses very close. Now, but it's big. That's the tripod mount thing.
Right. That'll get you on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. So anyway, basically. That's pretty much what we were wanting to see about getting you on there. I know Bill is dying to get you on there.
Yeah, I know. He's the one that's been pushing me, and I don't know how to start, so this is a good start.
You know, as much as he wants you to get on YouTube, that's how much we want to get him on here.
Well, actually, Bill, it's not that hard to do. These webcams are not expensive.
No.
And you can get them, they plug right into your USB port. And it's done.
Yeah.
And Doug can send you a link, and you just connect up, and bang, it's on. There's
nothing to download. There's nothing to do.
No, it's very. I didn't realize it was that easy.
Yeah. So we tried to convince people of that, but they thought, it can't be that easy.
Actually, it is. I was shocked at how easy it was.
Really great.
You click the link, and then you click the ready to go, and you're there.
That's it.
Right.
So
this is a good way to get started.
It is. It really is. Yeah. We really appreciate it. Carl, have you got anything else you want to ask or things like that?
No, I think we covered it quite a bit. I'm looking at the chat. Is there anything anybody out there would like to ask Jim while we got him here?
All right. Now this is
yes. No, I disagree. You can teach an old code new tricks.
That's right.
You can. You really can.
There's few people that can say that to you, Bill. There's one of them that's older than you are.
And yes, you can. I can't get to it because it's over on a table, but I've got microprocessor, little microprocessor projects around here that I'm working on. I'm learning to use Arduinos. That's all new.
That's right.
I'm learning. I sort of gave up on Raspberry Pis, but the Arduino works great.
Yeah. That's something I'm getting into too. As soon as that stimulus gets here, I checked my bank account today. It's not here yet, so.
No, I expect not. No, it'll be this coming week before we see that.
So that has been a really good interview. Bill, I'm still on Bill. Jim, is there anything else you would like to add as far as I didn't cover your hobbies or anything like that? Do you have any hobbies or other interests?
Well, now I have a lot of family, and I do spend time with them. I have a wonderful son and daughter who help me a lot, especially. No, answer this question. I have not played with surface mount. My eyes really aren't good enough to do that. They used to be, but nevermore, said the raven, nevermore. Anyway, I have this, and it works quite well.
Yeah, I've got one like that.
It's not quite good enough for surface mount.
Anyway,
I have a fairly good sized family. I have 5 great grandchildren.
This is my 8 here.
Yeah. Well, I've got another one of those too. This was more portable. This one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I've got 3 grandchildren plus 2 I adopted from a friend of mine. I adopted their boys. They're grown now, so it doesn't matter. And I've got 5 great grandchildren. So I spend time with them when I can. Of course, this coronavirus has messed us up, but
yeah, it's big time.
I've got my vaccination. I think you got yours, didn't you, Doug?
Yeah, I got both mine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got both mine. Yeah.
All right, so us old people are covered.
Yeah, so we're all safe. So you guys out there don't have to worry. You know.
Invite us into your living room every Saturday night.
Yes, lots of fun and games. Okay, it's been what, 25 minutes?
Yeah,
25 minutes.
Yeah, we've been on for 26 minutes and 40 seconds. So like I say, we don't want to keep you. You're probably busy as well.
Yes and no, but these videos need to be kept reasonable.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, they do.
The only person get away with an hour and a half video is Musty One.
Yeah. Yeah, I watch him faithfully every Sunday and sometimes on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, Jim, I want to really thank you for being our guest and getting on here and doing this and showing that it is easy to do. It
is very easy.
Even for older Americans.
Yes, even for older Americans.
Yep.
Yes. But I have a friend who's 87 years old, and he's in perfect health.
Yeah.
He has almost no problems.
There you go. That's great. I love it.
I love it too.
I'm hoping to get there.
This interview is brought to you by our sponsor, Beaver Hunter. What's Beaver Hunter Bourbon?
My hat. It's hard to say.
Well. All right. Good night.
Good night, Jim.
And we'll be back even in this format.
Thank you very much.
Maybe we can get Doug, Carl, me, and Bill on here.
Yeah. There you go. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. So, all right. We appreciate you being
You're
on.
more than welcome. We'll talk to you later.
All righty.
Thank you.
Care.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was great, Carl.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really nice. Happy that Jim was able to join us and get on here. And that was
once again, we have a great group of guys.
Yeah.
There, so
yeah.
That always makes it good. Not only the host, you're over there, and our guests, but our chat people.
Yes,
it makes the whole night just really good. So
right. So
I want to throw out a thank you to all you guys out there too.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. You guys in the chat make it happen, and we really appreciate when you ask questions like you have been doing. And log on. I think at one time we were up to like 15 or 16 people, and that's great. Yep. We're very happy about that, and appreciate everybody saying good night. I'm going to say good night in just a second. But you know me, I like to talk a little bit. So, we talked about Buzz 1151. We are working on getting Buzz to do this, and I'm hopeful that we can do it. We've also was going to try to get Rick McWhorter, but now, as you all guys probably all know, that Rick had some problems, and so it may take us a while to do that. Buddy from the radio shop, we're still waiting to hear back from him, and so fingers crossed that we'll get these guys on and get you some more stuff to hear. I think this is very interesting format. I'm happy about the way it's turned out, and again, I want to thank everybody, you, Carl, especially.
Thank you. You
and
too.
We were going to cut off here and go out of here, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will